Hey guys, Barretus here and welcome back to Forever Stranded. So in the last recording we got our equipment together and went and took out one of the dungeons and found a second one. But today I want to get a little bit more autocrafting stuff done and possibly have a look at making some more little bits and pieces. So I did a little bit of research about these loot capacitor things you can get in dungeon chests, since we've got so many now. And there's actually a system for how they work. So the descriptions that they have, the nice hiding enhanced capacitor, tells you how good they are in general or how good they can be in specific machines. So they're apparently, it's probably easier to just look it up if you're interested, but the short answer, I guess, is the capacitor part at the end tells you how good it is in general, and then the bits in front, like the premium villainous there, the incredibly hot premium villainous there, tells you how good it can be in specific machines. So like this one is nice hiding enhanced capacitor. So it's an enhanced capacitor, which means it's around as good as a double layer capacitor in most machines. But its nice hiding trait means that it is actually about the same, but specifically in what's hiding? Hiding is the painter. So apparently they're all numbered on a scale from 0 to 4.5, and apparently basic capacitors are equivalent to 1, double layers are 2, and octadics are 3. So you can actually get ones, these guys can actually be better than octadic capacitors. So for example, this one, which I believe is one of the best smelting ones, is an enhanced smelting, good insatiable, enhanced capacitor. So being an enhanced capacitor, it is 1.5 to 2.5, so it's about as good as a double layer capacitor. But the enhanced smelting means it's a 3.0 to 3.5, so it's as good or better than an octadic when it's in an alloy smelter. And like this one has incredibly crushed, which means it is a 4.0 to 4.2, so it's actually better than an octadic when it's in a sag mill. So I went through all the ones we've got and put like the best ones I could in each of our machines. So all of our farming ones now have, I think they're all premium planting. So they're premium planting, which means that they are 3.5 to 4.0. So they're better than octadic, and they've all got the maximum range now. And I'm glad I did actually have this number correct. So I might spend a little bit of time between recordings just filling all of this out with dirt, and we'll just let it use its internal store to just fill everything out as it goes. And interesting, it looks like these hold more seeds now that they've got a better capacitor in them, because they definitely had a 16 limit earlier. But yeah, so I've put that in these two and the one upstairs, so I'll just I'll extend the dirt area for them later on. You guys don't really need to be seeing that. And downstairs I cleaned this up a little bit. So these two machines on the end here weren't working. They had no power, and I think it was because when I placed this conduit and connected it and disconnected it, it like didn't register that this one was still connected, and they just ran out of power. But I just broke this conduit and replaced it, and now it's running fine. And this one's running fine too. It's got a pretty bad backlog though, because it built up. Yeah, there's a lot of iron, tin, and copper. I might have to rejig this a bit so that the we're not trying to put iron, tin, copper, and nickel all through one of these, because it does kind of seem like we're putting the most common resources all through the one hammer. So I might spread those out later. So I swapped this guy out, so they're now always output into here. The sag mill is always pulling on this side, so the alloy smelter, not the sag mill. It's always pulling on the crate side, so it just pulls everything in straight away. It's got a, enhanced smelting, enhanced smelting, enhanced capacitor, so it's about as good as an octadic capacitor in there. And then it's just outputting, same as before, into the interface here. I've got this buffer chest for these guys. But it all seems to be running pretty well now. Apart from this little backlog we've got on this guy, none of these are overflowing anymore now that I've put speed upgrades in them, which is good. It looks like these guys get cleared out just in time before the next one goes through. Interesting that power is actually struggling a little bit for these guys, but that's fine. I'm not too worried about that. So the thing I wanted to get done today is I want to automate producing circuits. So to do that, first of all, we're going to I set up Autocrafting for blank patterns, which also needed quartz glass crafting, so we can craft plenty blank patterns now. And next I want to craft circuits. So to do that, I think we can get away with just using an interface. So we can use an interface connected to an alloy smelter and put recipes in that telling it, processing recipes in that telling it that if it puts like, a dust in there, it'll get an ingot back. But I think if we use this interface, not the compressed one, we should be able to just output from the smelter straight back into the interface, and I think we can get around having to use an import bus. I want to try that first. We might have to use an import bus, and if that's the case, then we'll just have to deal with it. So I think I need to make a couple of these guys again. So I made a couple of these gold, the logic processors, just between recordings, just so we didn't have to go through that again. So we'll get one interface. I've also got a little bit more rubber cooking up in there. Actually, I need my conduits as well. Yeah. All right. So the plan is to put this guy here. And how do we want to do this? I might need to put this up a level actually. So we'll put the alloy smelter here. Put the interface on top. We'll run this guy. Oh, we can just run him like that. I'll probably run it across the top once we have more machines like that set up, but damn it. For now, that's fine. We need to get our conduits running down to there, and I want you to not connect to here. And of course, that wrench doesn't work on these ones, and this wrench doesn't work on those ones. It's annoying. We want you to be disabled. Good. Yep. And actually, let me just double check that you're not going to bug out now. I might just replace this just to make sure. There we go. Okay, so this guy's getting power now, right? Yep, he's not getting much power though. So we'll put this capacitor in. So this is I believe this is the best capacitor I've got. So it's a premium hot capacitor, which means it's got better power generation in a Stirling generator. But it's an impossible capacitor, which means in any machine it's the equivalent of 3.5 to 4.5, which means it's up to 1.5 times an octadic capacitor. So I want to use this guy here because anytime we want to autocraft smelt something, we want it to be as quick as possible. So now that we've got that set up, and I just want to check, why is our power so bad? Maybe we've run out of Elorium. Yeah, so oh no, it is full, it's just, we're just using way more power than we're inputting at the moment. Okay. Let's crank this up a little more. Drop that down a bit. That'll up it to 1.7. Yeah, that'll do. I think it's just because I've got all these capacitors filling up that I put in. I put all these capacitors in just before I started recording, and I think it's just draining draining everything. Okay, so now that we've got that, we want to craft circuits. So to do this, we're going to need... We might make another interface actually, because I think we're going to run out of... crafting space in the one we have down there for the autocrafters. So if we go here, now to make a circuit, we need to make electronic circuits first. So to make iron plates, we need to do this. So let's make a pattern for those plates. And then we need to make insulated copper cable. It's copper cable, which needs this plate, I think, yep. So we need to hammer that plate. We then need to, I'll just take one of those just to make sure we've got one in there. We then need to take that plate and cut it. Then we need to take the wire. Oh, we need to actually make one of those plates. Wires. There we go. So we then take that, combine it with the rubber. We get that. So we're also going to have to make up recipes to craft hammers and cutters so that we don't run out of them. So that gets us the insulated cables. It gets us the plates, which means we can then make these. Let's just do the initial test for this. Actually, we'll make the hammer crafts as well. So to make a hammer, we need that. You can go in there. To make the cutters, I think it has to be these cutters, doesn't it? So they need iron plates, which we already taught it how to craft. So we'll craft cutters as well. I just actually crafted cutters, didn't I? Fool. I actually made a hammer too. I am not on my game today. So teach it to make that. Teach it to make cutters. That. So now I'm hoping that these interact properly with the molecular assemblers and we don't have to do something funny with them. But now we have everything, we should be able to make the insulated wires. So if we go down here, so we are already running out of space. Yeah, let's start putting this stuff in the new crafter. So let's put this one here. So it needs to put plates, wires, insulated cables, hammer and cutters. So now that those are all in there, we should be able to, let's see, insulated cable. Make me 6 of them, please. It's missing 2 cutters. Why is it missing 2 cutters? It should be able to make cutters. Okay, that's a pain. So if that doesn't work, and it apparently can't make more cutters, annoyingly, I think we can have an alternative to this, can't we? Yeah, we can use the metal former. In fact, we can use the metal former to turn ingots straight into cable, and that's actually more efficient. Because one ingot makes 1 plate, and 1 plate makes 2 cables, but 1 ingot in the metal former makes 3. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's fine. That'll work because I needed to move this stuff down there anyway because I want to be able to auto-craft rubber. So we might just move this whole setup down there. Yeah, we can add a recipe to compress these as well. Unfortunately, that does mean we're going to need... Actually, if you can't... I'm just thinking, how can we cheese this a bit so we don't have to put a interface on top of each of these machines. So they all take different items, and I don't think there's much overlap. Oh no, there is. The compressor will take copper as well, so that won't work. Like the extractor would probably be fine on its own. Ooh, iodine. Interesting. Yeah, and the metal former is probably fine as well. But we couldn't put the compressor on it. Oh, I think we'll just do it properly. So we'll need another 2 circuits so that we can make another couple of those guys. So this is annoying. Actually, we can autocraft some of this, can't we? Will you let me craft these? No, that's why you're complaining about cutters. Interesting. I wonder, like, there's 3 cutters in there, so why would it be complaining about that? Unless it can't handle the NBT data or something. Like the damaged ones, it can't handle that. That is annoying. Well, we need to make... We can make plates at least, right? Will you make plates? Oh, but it's going to craft 6 hammers to make plates. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, so that doesn't work at all. It does not work at all. Alright, so we have to make our own copper plates. And then we can make our own wire. And then we can make our own this wire if we don't run out of cables. Alright. Back to circuits. That is the wrong circuit. We just need 2 of them, made into 2 of these, made into 2 of these, and then I think we need a couple of the silicon ones too. That is not how you spell silicon. Printed silicon. Give me 2. What are we missing? Oh, we need actual... Whoa, okay. Double compressed sand gives you... And compressed sand, interesting. So we're out of that, so give me a stack of sand and we'll just put it through the signal. There you go. Whoa, look how fast that is. That is nice. Alright, so if we put you there, you'll give us another one of them, and I'll take those 2 redstone, thank you. So I mean, this whole crafting these like this is a real pain in the butt compared to using the templates that you get from the meteors, but the nice thing, I guess, the silver lining, is that we'll be able to automate crafting them a little easier. Because normally you've got to do quite a complex sort of system with multiple inscribers to get it to work properly. But because it's like this, we don't have to do that. Interface is what we want. Oh no, we have to make the... oh really, we're out of... Oh man. Oh no, we're almost out of fluix crystals too. Alright, those, that's fine. We'll have to automate fluix crystals as well at some point. Probably pretty soon. Alright, 2 of them. Interface. 2 of them, and 2 interfaces. Okay. So then we can make a processing pattern, and we want to tell it that if it sends a copper ingot, no, not a stack of copper ingots, just a copper ingot, it will get a wire back. I need to make a wire first, dang it. Oh, it was a cable. Yeah. You know what? Just give me a copper ingot. It's fine. Let's just make sure this works first. So I think it's extrude mode, right? Metal former extrude mode gives us a 3 copper cables. Good. So now we tell it that 1 copper will give you 3 copper cables back. And that is good. We've got the interface, we've got that. Alright, so we just need to pick up the metal former and hope it doesn't break. Good, it did not. Very good. Now, how are we going to get power down there? I might just take this. Can I? No. Which wrench do I need to pick you up? No wrench, just bash you. Okay, good. Okay, so this one. Now, where do we want to put this one so it's not a pain? I might have to move it later on. So we'll probably want a. Actually, before we do that, let me just check that this works first so that we know how well we can stack these together. So we'll make a recipe for this guy. Let's make him craft. How about conduit binder? That's probably a good one. So binder composite is a crafting recipe like that. And that is not what I meant to do. Just clear that one, thank you. No, you go there. So then we need a processing pattern that is... how much binder composite is it? 1 composite to 2 conduit binder. Really? Huh, I didn't realize that was so nerfed for us. Oh, but we get 8 of this, right? Ah, man. Recipe. Let me just craft some of them. So I'm going to tell you, processing pattern, 1 of these will get you 2 of these. Okay. So if I tell you that you can create that, and then I just tell you that you can craft that. So this is going to fail initially, I believe. So if we tell you that we want, take this out here, whoops, take everything out of there, I want you to craft 2. Just going to craft all of that and do that. Okay. So it didn't come back into the inventory because we don't have an output on this, but it should have gone in here and been smelted. Yes. Okay, so here's what I want to test. If we set this to push, it pushed it into the interface, which is good, which means it should have shown up in here. Yes. And now if we ask it to craft another 2, is it going to work? No, I imagine that fails because now that that top side is set to output, the interface can't push items into it. So I think maybe this has to be set to push-pull. Yes, there we go. Okay, good. Excellent. That works exactly how I thought it would. So we're probably going to want another of those here for a sag mill, and then we'll probably put the metal former beside that. So if we put the metal former here, put this low energy guy here, plug you into there. So now you're getting power. Yes, you're in extruding mode. We'll put one of you on top, and we're going to tell you to do that crafting pattern. Then we're going to pick these guys up. So we'll pick you up, and we'll run this across the top here. Like that. Now, the issue... Actually, better way to lay this out is if we pick you up, put you there, pick this guy up as well. So power into the back of you. That means you connect to you. Don't connect to that, please. Please don't run out of power. It looks like it's fine. Okay, so metal former can sit on top. We'll turn this into a collapsed one, and we'll put him on top. Put the recipe in there. And then just put a cable there. So it connects to that guy, but that's fine. We don't care about that. In fact, we can probably collapse these guys down as well now, since they do push-pull properly. But that's okay, we don't need to worry about that. What we do need, though, is an import bus, I believe, which means we need an annihilation core, which means we need another logic processor, which means we need more of this crap. That is not the one of them that I wanted. Ah, man, this is annoying. Damn it, just give me the correct one. Cable, plate, there we go. Give me some of them. I should just be looking these up directly. I don't know why I keep clicking through it like this. Some of them... Oh no, I misclicked. Damn it. Six of them. Alright. One of you. Damn it. Turns into one of you, which turns into a gold one. And then we need the silicon one as well. That. Give me one redstone to make this. Okay, good. So then if we put you in there, we need an import bus. Which needs one of them. Which needs a sticky piston, which we don't have a piston for. No, it needs to be a sticky piston. There we go, import bus. Okay, so I think if we put an import bus on the side of this, it'll pull the items out when they're done. I hope that's how that works. I don't think we need to set him up with anything special. I think he'll just work, so he needs to be in extruding mode. So now we should be able to request... oh, we might need to take the other recipe out, actually, just to make sure it doesn't get confused. So you don't need to make those here. We know those recipes don't work. That's the only one we care about. We don't want you making these guys either. So let's just wipe these recipes so we get the blank patterns back. Okay, so it makes the copper wire there. It should be able to make the cable there. And we should be able to just request some cable. So let's just get the existing ones out of there. So if I request 6 cables, needs 2 ingots, it'll craft those, it has those available, and it'll craft those. Start. Then if we keep an eye on it, because it's got to go through the metal former, it'll be fairly slow, so we might need to look at some speed upgrades for it. But there we go. It's crafting. Did the first 3, so now it's waiting for the next 3 to go through the metal former. 4, 5, 6. Excellent. Oh man, I wish shift clicking put those in here. Okay, so back to crafting patterns. Clear that. We need to craft the circuits now. And this actually opens up the next problem, is that we need plates. And we can make plates in the metal former, but it's got to be in hammer mode, which means we'll need a second metal former. Yeah, okay. So we might have to do this a little bit differently, but that's okay. I can rejig it later on. Luckily, we do have a bunch of metal plates in there already. So if we teach it this recipe, so it'll make circuits, and then if we teach it, just make one of those, then we teach it this recipe, and it'll make advanced circuits. Which means we should then be able to teach it, if we make that guy, we should be able to then teach it these recipes as well. So there's that one, the engineering one, and the logic one. So then to make these, all we need to do then is teach it how to make silicon as well, which is going to be kind of a pain. Because when you make silicon, it's yeah, see, 80% chance, 80% chance, 50% chance. Even when you use compressed, you still only have 50% chances. So the issue is we can't guarantee silicon, so we can't give it a crafting recipe that says like send in 3 sand and you'll get 3 silicon back. We probably have to do a supply line instead, where it'll process sand until it gets like a stack of silicon. The issue then is that it limits our crafting ability unless we have more than enough for anything we want to automate in the system already. But okay, that looks good. We should be able to just request those circuits now. So if we go in here and we say, I want a printed logic circuit, please, it'll use... Oh, because it's already got one of them available. Let's request 2. So it'll use 2 glowstone, 10 redstone, 2 gold, 2 lapis, an iron plate, 2 silicon. Needs to craft one of them, it has one available, and start. We get 1 instantly, and then the other one will take a little bit of time. But if we run down here, we should be able to see the metal former doing its thing. Yeah, look at it go. Cool. Alright, so that's partial, I guess. Partial automation of that. And then we've got 2 of them sitting in here. Man, okay, that was a lot of rambling and messing around, but we're getting there. I think you guys get the idea now, so I might do a bit of messing around with it down here and setting these up. I think we can make upgrades for these, can't we? Upgrades. Yeah, I think it's industrial craft. So storage, signal inverter, transformer upgrades the energy input tier. We don't care about that. Overclocker upgrade, decrease process time to 70%, increase power to 160. So yeah, I think we can put multiples of them into these 4 slots. They require coolant cells. Universal fluid cells with IC2 coolant in them. Weedex, water, lava. That's helpful. Coolant. I'll have to look up how to do that, but we could totally make some of them. I guess these are just taking 3 of them and yeah, okay. Is that worth doing actually? So each of these is 3. So you spend 3 to get 2, or you spend what, 3, 6, 9 to get 6. So it's only more efficient because you don't waste more of these. So yeah, it is worth doing that. Even though you spend a little bit extra plates and stuff. Yeah, okay. So we'll need to set up another metal former for plates, and then we'll need to speed them up because they're just pretty much way too slow for what we want to automate. We don't want to be waiting for, to do 10 circuits and be waiting for this to slowly do each one. We need to make it as quick as possible. But I'll have a look into how to do that, and when we come back next time, we will finish this off. So that'll do for today, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.